Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the Posture Project. As always, I'm your host, Justin Archer, aka the Posture Guy, your number one source on pain, posture, and performance. And I don't know about you all, but I'm having a great beginning of the week. I hope you are as well, wherever you're watching this from in the world. But I have to say, a lot of the great energy and feelings that I'm bringing into this week has been carried over, and in great part thanks to you guys for helping support and contribute and make a huge success last week's premiere episode of the Q&A session with the Pasha Guy, i.e. me. So for those of you that contributed and wrote in questions of your very own, thank you very much. One, for giving me questions to answer, but two, because I've gotten a lot of good feedback from other people that found the questions and the answers I gave very relatable. So thank you. I plan on definitely doing another Q&A session this month and next month. I'd like to make it a monthly occurrence. So if you have any questions that you'd like to see answered here on the show, if you'd like me to evaluate your posture like I did for Fabrice live on the show here, please write me, email me, call me, whatever. And just leave me any pertinent information you think I need to know in order to answer your questions, and I would be more than happy to do so. All right? And if you haven't gotten a chance to check out that episode, I'll put a link down below this video where you can. All right? But like I said, that made me just really happy, and that's going into this week. But there was something that happened over this weekend that kind of spawned the idea for the post today. Something that really just kind of pissed me off. And it has, in the past, pissed me off, kind of grind my gears. And what it was is that I was talking to my stepdad's friend who has been in chronic pain for a while. He's trying to lose some weight. Unfortunately, he recently had been in a motorcycle accident and broken his ankle. But nonetheless, he was diagnosed a while back with arthritis. And I asked him, well, did they say why? What's causing the arthritis? And he said no. And I just kind of sighed and hung my head and, basically palm, forehead. And I don't mean that directed towards him. I mean it directed towards, the health professional that he was working with at the time. Because I think far too often, health professionals hand out these diagnoses, these Osises and Osises, like arthritis, bursitis, tendonitis, scoliosis, etc., like their business cards or candy. And the unfortunate thing is that most people, we've been conditioned to listen to health professionals without questions. So someone says you're arthritis, you just go, okay. And unfortunately, something like arthritis has a lot of bad stigmas attached to it. Things like, oh, that's a sign of you're getting older, because everybody has arthritis as they get older, your body just breaks down. Or, oh, it's congenital, and your mom had bad knees, so, oh, that's why you have bad knees. Which obviously neither one of those makes sense. If your left knee hurts because you're 72 and your right knee doesn't hurt because you're 72, there's a disconnect there. That obviously doesn't make sense. Both knees should hurt equal amounts, and they should hurt more and more every day. Genetics, there's no evidence of knee arthritis, DNA sequence, or even if both knees hurt, arthritis just affecting the knees. If anything, it should affect the entire body overall. So neither one of those makes sense, but again, we've been conditioned to believe so. And so if you go into a doctor's office and just say with basic knee pain, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get this thing checked out, but I'm going to try some postural alignment therapy or some self-myofascial release and try to take care of this on my own. But then you go to the doctor and they tell you have arthritis. Now the mentality and how you approach your symptom now changes. It went from, oh, it's just knee pain and I can take care of this on my own, to, oh, it's arthritis, which many people, other than knowing that it has to do with joint pain, don't really know what causes arthritis, how it works in the body, and how to treat it and ultimately cure it. So it's something, when we don't understand something, we're afraid of it. We kind of put it over there because we want to avoid it. And that's what happens is now, before, something that before you went to the doctor was, oh, it's just knee pain. Now it's arthritis? Well, no, I mean postural alignment therapy can't do anything. Self-myofascial release technique stuff, that can't do anything. Oh my gosh, I have arthritis. And so what I want to do today is, help you kind of demystify some of these diagnoses. There's a lot of them out there. Obviously, we don't have time today to go over all of them, but today I just want to focus on the Isises and Osises. Maybe in another week or two we can go over things like chronic fatigue syndrome or thoracic outlet syndrome or fibromyalgia and things like that. Because like I said, I think when a health professional gives a diagnosis to someone without taking the time necessary for their client or patient to fully understand what it means, they're really shooting that client in the foot and then going run, because now it's going, okay, now maybe you had some hopes or beliefs on how you're going to treat this, but now we just gave you, it's almost like a death sentence to whatever part of your body that it affects, So, the question that I'll pose for you, same question I posed for my stepdad's friend, is, well, let's break this down. What really is arthritis, okay? And then let's reverse engineer and work backwards. Because I think that's something that a lot of people need to get better at, which is, asking questions. Don't just listen to any health professional, including myself, and take their word on it. I mean, they're there to help you and they want to help you. But if you don't understand something, stop them and say, hey, I don't understand. Can you clarify, better explain this to me in a way that I can understand, okay? So for example, arthritis. The prefix arth means joint. The suffix itis means inflammation. So you have joint inflammation. All right, well, what's the next logical question? What causes inflammation in the body, physically speaking? Okay, well, inflammation is caused by abrasion, rubbing of two things that shouldn't be rubbing together. Almost like if you were to rub, sticks together to start a fire, okay? So, for instance, my stepdad's friend's example, we use an example, his knee is externally rotated. So when he's standing, his knee kind of looks like this. Okay, well, in that position, his knee, which ideally if it was here, if it was straight, when he walks, the knee should just open and close like a hinge joint, and it's a normal knee, nothing wrong. But in this position, now when his heel hits the ground, he has to internally rotate. So now his knee goes from being a hinge joint to being a hinge joint, now with rotation, and the medial lateral sides start to have to grind. Well, that grinding, that rubbing together, creates the inflammation in the joint, okay, known as arthritis. Okay, so let's keep working backwards. Why is his leg like this? Okay, well, as you probably know, muscles move bones. So if the bones and the joint are out of position, it's because there's an imbalance in the musculature. So maybe we have to stretch certain muscles, maybe we have to strengthen others. Obviously, that's going to be different from person to person. But we get the position from here to go to here, so the knee is directly under the hip and above the ankle. Now it can go from that arthritic position / condition of grinding and causing inflammation to now just back to a normal knee joint, and now there's no rubbing or abrasion, no inflammation, ergo no more arthritis. You just cured arthritis, okay? Now some people may say that's an oversimplification, and I would say that 95% of the time it really is that simple. I won't say it's easy, but it's simple. How it works, how to go about correcting it is very simple. It's not easy because you have to be willing to take responsibility for your health. You can't put it on a painkiller or a brace or anything. You have to be willing to put in the time and effort needed to do the exercises to correct that imbalance and get your knee functioning back to the way it used to, okay? So that's arthritis in a nutshell. And think about it, if it is explained to you in that way, now it's not so scary. Now it's not this arthritis that everybody's scared of and there's a lot of mystery around and what causes it. Is there really anything you can do about it? I don't know. Now it's, oh, my knee is inflamed and hurting because it's out of position. If I correct the imbalance in my musculature, correct the position, now there's no more pain? Oh, that's something I could do something about. I can stretch, I can strengthen, I could do some self-myofascial release techniques, but I have the power now to correct that. Think about how empowering that is in the mindset that you're going to approach it, other than, I have arthritis? What's arthritis? Oh my God, that's not scary, And really all it is, it's a shorthand word, arthritis, to describe the pain you're having rather than having to go through that big long explanation that I just gave you. So I laugh and also get frustrated when people tell me, oh, my knee's hurting, I went to the doctor, they told me I have arthritis. Because I go, well, basically what happened was you went to the doctor, you told them you were having inflammation of the knee or pain in the knee, and they said you have arthritis. I said, so you went in, you told them, and then they basically repeated what you said to them back to you, except just using fancier terminology. Okay, so they're like a really expensive parrot. I said, how much was that copay? Because if I were you, I'd get my money back, really. And on top of that, okay, you have arthritis, but did they tell you what to do for it? I mean, other than take, painkillers and something like that, because obviously if you're watching this video, you're probably not interested in treating the symptom, although that would be nice too. You want to treat the cause, so then the symptom goes away, right? So that's kind of a nutshell on arthritis, but once you understand that, you can understand other things like tendonitis, right? Tendon, prefix, itis, inflammation, inflammation of the tendon. If two tendons are rubbing together, causes inflammation, okay, but that's due to the position of the tendons. Correct the muscular imbalances, changes the position of the tendons, now they're not rubbing, no more tendonitis. Bursitis, I don't know if you know what a bursa is. It's a kind of like a sac or cushion in your joints that secretes synovial fluid, which lubricates your joints. One that often gets inflamed in people is in the hip joint. So imagine you have that externally rotated femur. Now your femoral head, the way that your thigh bone fits inside your hip socket, is different. And when you walk, it has a tendency to grind on that bursa, right? And now that bursa gets inflamed and you have bursitis. Correct the position, the condition, the bursitis no longer exists, okay? So those are kind of a few examples of Osises. Again, the suffix just means inflammation to whatever the prefix is. Arth, joint, tendon, bursa, sac, okay? Now, looking at something like an osis, okay? The suffix osis really just means current condition or state of being. So for instance, if you're sitting watching this video, I'm going to diagnose with you with sitosis because you're currently sitting. That's your current state and position. Now, I just made that up, but it's actually very accurate. You have sitosis. I have sitosis right now, okay? Now imagine if you were diagnosed with scoliosis. Okay, what's the prefix scoli? Scoli means curved and or twisted. So scoliosis just means your current state or position is twisted or crooked. But well, obviously, if you see somebody with scoliosis, I'll kind of do my scoliosis impression here, you can see this person and go, well, obviously there's a muscular and skeletal imbalance going on here. The muscles on my right side are winning the tug of war game with the muscles on my left. But if I stretch these out and strengthen these, I could correct my alignment, and now there's no more scoliosis. My state of being is no longer scoli. It's aligned. I have alinosis. See, I just came up with another one. It's kind of a fun game, right? You just kind of come up with your own diagnoses. That's basically how the medical profession works. It sounds funny, maybe I'm poking fun at anything, but seriously, that's how it works. I will say, though, there are some very good doctors out there that will take the time to explain these diagnoses to you so that you feel better when you leave their offices. Those are the ones you want to find and definitely hang on to and stick around, okay? Hopefully what I want you to take away from this is if you're given a diagnosis, don't have the knee-jerk reaction of being scared of it. Instead, if you don't understand it, and then I understand you're afraid of it because you don't understand something, I am too, things that I don't understand, but ask the health professional that you're working with, ask them what's causing it. And again, don't stop asking why. Be like an annoying 2-year-old until you get an answer that you both understand and like, or at the very least, if you don't like, at least you understand, all right? And if they can't give you that, quite frankly, find another, whatever they are, doctor, a chiropractor, whatever. And by all means, if you don't understand, ask me, if you haven't been given a diagnosis that you don't understand or how it works in the body or how to go about treating it, let me know, and I'll do the best I can to answer that for you. All right? Anyways, like I said, I look forward to doing another one of these maybe in a few weeks. If you have any diagnoses you've been given that you want to see featured here on the show, please leave those in the comments section, and I'll be more than happy to get to them. All right? Anyways, thank you for joining me inside today's video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, take care and keep moving.